Hi there. I'm Dan Curry, Superintendent of Schools for Calvert County. It's time for high school graduation. Soon I'll be putting on my graduation gear and participating in four, just like we did in 2019. We are going to be back. We're going to be in person at the Prince George's County Equestrian Center. But for those of you who couldn't get tickets or who couldn't make it because you live too far away, we're also live streaming each event. Thanks to the great business partner to the schools, Mr. Dave Walton. Mr. Walton has helped us do it before, and he's a great partner in producing a lot of theatrical programs in our schools as well. But today, we're going to celebrate our seniors who have persevered these last 2 years. You've made it to the finish line. Congratulations. Enjoy the program.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I please have your attention? My name is Jenna Kaplan, and I'm the president of the class of 2022. We are here this evening for the Huntingtown High School annual commencement exercises. We are almost ready to begin the processional, but before we do, I would like to take this opportunity to ask for the cooperation of our audience during this evening's program. We have worked very hard with our class to convince them of dignity that a commencement program should have. Please keep unnecessary noise to a minimum throughout the ceremony. We especially ask that there be no noisemakers, whistling, or screaming as the graduates enter the floor, cross the stage, and leave the floor. Noisemakers in the form of air horns are strictly prohibited. Anyone using an air horn will be asked to leave the arena. We know that you are excited for your graduate. However, we want to make sure that every graduate's name is heard when called. We also remind you that no one is allowed on the floor except the graduates. A professional photographer will photograph each senior as he or she receives a diploma. These pictures will be made available to you. Thank you for your cooperation in these matters. We appreciate your help in bringing dignity to this commencement program by cooperating with our requests. We hope you enjoy the ceremony.
Good evening and welcome. I am Rick Weber, the principal of Huntingtown High School. Will you please stand for the processional of our graduating seniors? Thank you. Please be seated. It is my privilege to introduce Jenna Kaplan, who, as president of the class of 2022, will serve as today's Master of Ceremony. Jenna Kaplan is the daughter of Brian and Nicole Kaplan. She is the president of the class of 2022, a four-year varsity volleyball athlete, and is graduating with a grade point average that places her in the top 2% of her class. Jenna is president of Relay for Life, captain of the volleyball team, a student senate representative, and a member of Mu Alpha Theta and National Honor Society. Jenna will begin her collegiate career in the fall at the University of Maryland College Park, studying communications and taking Air Force ROTC classes. Jenna Kaplan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of our national anthem, performed by our Huntingtown High School Chamber Choir. Gentlemen, including graduates, you are reminded to remove your hats and hold them over your hearts. Colors will be presented by the Huntingtown High School NJROTC Color Guard. Thank you, NJROTC and Chamber Choir. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Tonight, we are proud to welcome to our graduation many important people in our lives. We are happy that so many families, friends, teachers, and mentors are able to be here with us. Please join me in welcoming some very special people who have joined us today. Elected officials who are joining us today include Mr. Michael A. Jackson, Maryland State Senator, Mr. Jerry W. Clark, Maryland State Delegate, Mr. Chris Gadway, Calvert County Commissioner, Mr. Kelly McConkey, Calvert County Commissioner, Mr. Stephen Weems, Calvert County Commissioner, Mr. Dave McDowell, Assistant Sheriff, Calvert County Sheriff's Office. I would now like to introduce the following guests we have on stage with us. From the Calvert County Board of Education, Ms. Pamela Cousins, President of the Board of Education. Ms. Inez Claggett, Vice President of the Board of Education. Ms. Dawn Belinsky, Board of Education member. Mr. Antoine White, Board of Education member. Dr. Daniel Curry, Superintendent of Calvert County Public Schools. From Huntingtown High School, we have our own administrators. Mr. Rick Weber, Principal. Dr. Rob Lawrence, Assistant Principal and 12th grade Administrator. Seated with the graduates are Ms. Michelle Schmidt, Assistant Principal and 11th grade Administrator. Ms. Abby Gray, Assistant Principal and 10th grade Administrator. Mr. Larry Butler, Assistant Principal and 9th grade Administrator. And our final stage guest, Sadie Storm, this year's Graduate with Distinction representative. In the audience tonight, there are some special guests that I would like to introduce. On my left are the parents of the Graduate with Distinction, Shannon and James Storm. On my right are my parents, Nicole and Brian Kaplan. Thank you all for joining us tonight on this very special occasion. And a very special welcome to the Class of 2022 Senior Class sponsors, Ms. Nicole Catlett and Ms. Nicole Connolly. At this time, we will hear a few words from our principal, Mr. Weber.
Again, good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Huntingtown High School's 18th commencement exercise. We're here today to honor students of the class of 2022, and I want to extend a special welcome to our Hurricane alumni. Welcome back. Give them a hand for our alumni that are back here. It's great to be back together again for graduation, getting the entire class together instead of doing 3 or 4 shows as we did the last couple of years. We were forced to do. We made the most of it, but it sure is nice to be back together again. Tonight it is my role and privilege to share with you some of the accomplishments of this year's outstanding group of students. There is a lot to brag about with this group. First of all, we have 329 students participating in today's ceremony. 70% of them have been on the honor roll at some point in their high school career. 212 of them, roughly 2/3 of the class, have taken at least one advanced placement course. They've taken 285 AP courses this year alone with a 99% pass rate. Many have taken multiple AP offerings. For their careers, they've taken almost 1,000 advanced placement courses. 57 students have earned advanced placement scholar recognition by the College Board. 163 seniors are career and technology education completers. Of these 163, 137 are dual completers, where they completed a college prep program plus CTE. This is the most dual completers we've had in our school's history. 60 students have earned a President's Education Excellence Award, and 58 students are designated as graduates with distinction. This is one of our highest totals ever in the school. This award recognizes students with career GPAs of 3.9 or better. These students are identified today by a medallion. I will start with the top 5 ranked students with distinction. I would like for them to please stand and remain standing as I call their names. First, we have Aiden McPhillips, Taylor Stonecker, Emily Chan, Garcia Gleason, and the student who earned the highest grade point average in the class of 2022, Nicholas Farber. Now I invite all of the students with distinction to also please stand and be acknowledged. You guys will stand up. Congratulations on a job well done. You can be seated now. These students and their classmates have enabled Huntingtown High School for the 15th straight year to be selected by Newsweek magazine and U.S. News and World Report as one of the nation's top high schools. In fact, this year we're in the top 5% in the country of approximately 40,000 U.S. high schools. And once again, the top-ranked high school in Southern Maryland. So, thank you. Outside of the classroom, this class has been just as impressive. They led the way this year in winning 4 conference team titles, 7 individual conference titles, 9 team and 15 individual region titles. We also captured a state title in boys indoor track and several individual state titles. And also, we came so close with volleyball, boys basketball, boys lacrosse, and boys outdoor track, as they all were state finalists. Overall, our varsity teams posted a winning percentage of 75% for the year. The school's theater program, Eye of the Storm Productions, produced an incredible number of professional quality shows, trying to make up for the year and a half worth of canceled shows. Their efforts made for an incredibly grueling schedule, but they were all a great success. Many of the students before you are accomplished writers, artists, photographers, and speakers, winning numerous local and regional competitions. They have volunteered thousands of hours of community service through ROTC, National Honor Society, Key Club, and their teams and other school organizations. This class has won acclaim in every conceivable way. Their efforts have been rewarded with over 81 of the students before you and counting, receiving scholarship offers from over 100 schools and community organizations, totaling nearly $10 million in financial aid. Hard work does pay off. They're proof of that. This is a group of very talented, involved students who've had to overcome a great deal during their high school career. They have shown a great deal of perseverance and determination to get here. The entire Huntingtown High School community should be very proud of this group. Students, as you pursue future endeavors, whether it be work or additional schooling, examine what you did well and what you overcame, and have confidence that you can use those skills that delivered you here tonight for continued success. Remember always, the results you've achieved required a lot of effort, determination, and support. There are many people who played a significant role in making this day possible. I would like to recognize them for their contribution. First, I want to thank the faculty and staff of Huntingtown High School. I'd like the members of our staff to please stand and be recognized. Come on, guys, don't be shy. Thank you. Next, graduates, your road to excellence did not start in high school. You've been greatly influenced by teachers, kindergarten through high school, and by youth coaches, community leaders, scoutmasters, and clergy. If any of you in the audience have coached, counseled any of the graduates, you also please stand and be acknowledged. We thank you for your efforts too. Last and most importantly, I want to commend your families for the job they have done raising you and guiding you to this moment. Families, will you please stand so we can acknowledge your contribution? Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure working with you. Seniors, I want to pass on 2 pieces of advice. First, continue to work hard. It always helps to work hard. Secondly, treat everyone you meet with respect. Follow the golden rule. Treat others as you would like to be treated. Be a nice person. It's not hard to do. Congratulations on your many accomplishments, and thank you so much for what you've done for our school and community. I know I speak for the entire Huntingtown High School community when I tell you we're very proud of you and wish you continued success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weber. Now please welcome Ms. Pamela Cousins, President of the Calvert County School Board, who brings you greetings from the Board of Education of Calvert County Public Schools.
Good evening, Huntingtown Hurricanes. On behalf of the Calvert County Board of Education, I'm honored to be here with you, your parents, family, teachers, and classmates as you commemorate this momentous occasion. Being able to serve as president this year and witness the final graduations of my tenure is so rewarding. This is just the first stop. in your individual life pursuits. Some of you will choose to enter the workforce, enlist in our armed forces, enroll in a college, university, or trade school, or so much more. Recognize that at this moment in your life, you have achieved excellence. Use this as a stepping stone to become something greater. Do not spend 1 minute comparing yourself to others. One person's accomplishments is no bigger than someone else's. You each carved your own path to this graduation stage, and now is the opportunity to continue on in the world. Don't be afraid to try something new. You may succeed, you may fail, but try again. And above all, have fun. Life after high school isn't all fun and games. In this next chapter, I challenge you to work just as hard, if not harder, than you did in the last one. Doing so will promote growth within yourself and allow for a better community in your impact. And as you grow, don't forget about those who guided you and continue to help you develop into the you are meant to be. As I close, I want to mention one more thing to you. The golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Don't just hear me when I say it. Do it, believe it, and act on it. Every interaction you have in life is an opportunity to build a relationship. Invest in them wisely as you navigate life's journey. Congratulations, Hurricanes.
Thank you, Ms. Cousins. We will now have a musical selection, When You Believe, performed by Huntingtown High's combined choirs, band, and orchestra. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you now please welcome our next speaker to the podium, Dr. Daniel Curry, Superintendent of Schools for Calvert County.
Thank you, Jenna. And thank you, choir and orchestra. That was beautiful. Congratulations, class of 22. You made it. It's been quite a ride these last few years, I know. You have persevered. I like to think that this pandemic class and the pandemic experiences make you one of the strongest graduating classes ever. You should be more confident in your ability to overcome obstacles because you have made it through these last 2 years. Now, as superintendent, I work with and for the Board of Education. And one thing that is unique in Maryland is that most boards of education have a student member of the board called a SMOB. In my 8 years in Calvert County, I have worked with 5 different SMOBs. Most recently, a guy you might know, Calvert from Huntingtown. This year, I thought it might be interesting to get in touch with past SMOBs, 3 of whom have graduated from college now, to see what advice they might give to me for a graduation message. Alexia Brown from Patuxent High School was SMOB in fiscal year 15 and fiscal year 16. She completed the biomedical project Lead the Way pathway and enrolled in the University of Maryland. She graduated in December 2019. Now, while at University of Maryland, she became interested in working at the radio station and eventually was the general manager of WMUC-FM. Now, she works at WAMU 88.5 in Washington, D.C. as an engagement producer. Her advice, follow whatever calls you, even if it's outside the path that you thought you were forging for yourself. You can always think of a new plan or change your mind about something, but you can't get back the times you sacrificed opportunities to pursue something that you felt really passionate about. She says anecdotally that, she says, I was at a crossroads when I was pursuing public health degree, but realized I wanted to be a community journalist. And I find myself there again as I realize that maybe I want to work in the wine industry. It's ever-changing, but the one constant is me and my commitment to do something that makes me happy. Now, one you might also know is Lucy Roach from Huntingtown High School. She was SMOB in fiscal year 17, and she graduated a year early and enrolled in the University of Maryland School of Nursing. She's now a registered nurse, working in shock trauma. She teaches at the University of Maryland Nursing School, and she's working on her master's in health services leadership. Lucy shares, my biggest piece of advice is to be an advocate and have passion. Throughout my time in Calvert County and as an undergraduate in Maryland and now my career as a nurse, I've learned that advocacy is one of the greatest skills to carry with you into adulthood. Learn to be an advocate first for yourself. Advocate for your needs, whether it be in school, at work, or in personal relationships. Be your biggest supporter, but advocate for others too. Find something you're passionate about and be an advocate to make the change you desire, because without advocacy, many of us wouldn't be here today. 2019 Northern High School grad Tom Ridenour was SMOB for FY 18 and 19. He just graduated from American University majoring in International Studies with a concentration in peace, global security, and conflict resolution. He'll be going to graduate school at King's College in London in the fall. Thomas's advice? I think that the main thing that I've learned in college is that the best way to do things you want to do in the future is to do things that you like now. I was interested in a lot of different things, and I followed my passion and I created a resume that was perfect for the careers that I want to pursue after graduation. I also believe that it's important to emphasize the power of connections after high school. Whether going to college or going directly into the workforce, it it is vitally important to connect to those around you in order to build meaningful relationships and experiences. And finally, SMOB for FY20, FY21 was Abby Setzfan from Northern High School. She graduated in 2021, and she just finished her first year at Vanderbilt. This summer, she's interning at the Foundation for Financial Planning, as well as the Women's Institute for Secure Retirement. Abby recommends that you be as open as possible to new experiences, and as you encounter these new experiences, be sure to bring your unique and insightful perspective. As you meet new people, you may doubt how valuable your thoughts and experiences are. However, these doubts shouldn't prevent you from sharing your stories and ideas with the world. Finally, she says, be confident in everything you have accomplished, because there will be times when people or events will test you. You should embrace challenge and use it to grow. Don't let it deter you from any of your goals. So, do you see any patterns here from the advice of past SMOBs? I'd summarize their advice in this way. Do what you like, do what's important to you, find your passion, make connections, and embrace challenges. Your classwork or career training at the next level is important, but pay attention to your interest outside of that, and ask yourself if there's a future there. Like Alexia Brown, my college classes were one thing, but my college interests and hobbies were very different. I majored in elementary education, and I took all the proper classes for that degree. But interestingly enough, with no high school student government experience, I did 4 years of student government in college. And I was never in a high school play, but in college, I tried out for and was cast in 8 plays. It was so much a part of my life that I made speech and drama my minor. And although I started out as an elementary teacher, I only taught 3 years. Then I quickly moved to leadership, principal, and superintendent. And actually, to tell you the truth, as a leader, I've been on stage, the public stage, for a long, long time. So be yourself, and if you're not sure what that looks like, give yourself permission in the next few years to explore that honestly. I'm sure you'll find success. Congratulations, class of 22, and good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Curry. We will now have a musical selection, I Sing to Remember, performed by Samantha Chapin, Sarah Dudley, Zoe Comeza, Molly McMaster, Judith Aller, and Alyssa Vasco.
Thank you. Next on our program is our Graduate Distinction Representative, Sadie Storm. Sadie is the daughter of Shannon and James Storm. As the Graduate Distinction Representative for the class of 2022, she has finished high school with a grade point average of 3.9 or higher and has been selected by her fellow graduates with distinction to represent them today. Sadie is graduating in the top 7% of her class. She has acted in design costumes with Ridenour Productions for 4 years and spent a year in journalism in the journalism program for the past year. Sadie will be attending the University of Maryland College Park in the fall to study criminology and criminal justice with women, gender, and sexuality studies. Please welcome Sadie Storm. Thank you for the warm introduction, Jenna. My name is Sadie Storm. My fellow graduates may recognize me from our school's new show, Storm Watch. We featured exciting segments such as monthly storm lessons and prescriptive dieting. I'm sure it was the favorite part of everyone's school day, probably changed a few of your lives, and definitely never once fell asleep in the middle of watching. I also acted with our theater program on Storm Productions. I'd like to clarify there was no purposeful relation between the naming of Storm Watch, Storm Lessons, and I as the Storm Productions with my name, Sadie Storm. But it is a very interesting coincidence. I'd like to thank all my family members for supporting me, whether they are here in person or in spirit, as well as my best friends who are playing Family Feud with me at lunch when we should have been studying. And of course, all the teachers that landed me here. From Mr. Irwin, who always seemed to wait 3 months before putting grades in the hat, to Mr. Arneson, whose swift rating made me anxiously refresh half for hours after each test, and Miss Debbie, who helped me edit this very speech. It's worth reiterating the scope of our future paths. Some of us are going as far as the glittering coast of California, while others, including myself, are staying right next to the muddy and polluted waters of the Chesapeake Bay. Hopefully we've got some environmental science majors here that can fix that. I'd like to share with everyone the top 5 lessons I learned in my years at Huntingtown High School from 9th to 12th grade. Even though my experiences are personal to my time here, I believe that all of us have our own uniquely painful memories we can all relate to in some way. My freshman year, those of us subjected to AP United States History by our facilitator, Mr. James, may remember the stress of our first essay. I remember it because I failed it. I failed it, and I was so upset, and I cried, and I tried to hide it from my parents, and then they got upset. This is where I learned my first lesson, how to accept help. My upperclassmen friends stepped in, since they too had been in my shoes, faced Mr. James's wrath, and knew that by simply completing extra credit, their grade would go from a 60 to an 100 faster than you can say Erie Canal. They reminded me that one failed grade was not the end, and told me to stop moving around and start outlining some chapters. Next was my sophomore year, where I learned how to ask for help. I took Miss Martin's lovely accelerated algebra pre-calculus class, where I triumphantly began by failing more tests. Thanks to incredible concepts like logarithms and unit circles and other topics I hope to never encounter again in my life, I ended up opting for a tutor. I recruited my senior friend, which meant I had no problem texting her and crying to her at midnight when I needed help factoring a polynomial. In junior year, I learned how to help myself. I had spinal fusion surgery less than a week before the first day of school, and my biggest concern was missing Dr. Matthew's AP Calculus 1 class. So over the summer, I tried to teach myself the first unit, which sounds crazy, but when it comes to the amount of material Dr. Matthew could cram into one class period, the limit does not exist, so it did work. I also asked for a late work extension that quarter, which definitely came in handy, mostly because of Mr. Moreland's universally beloved World History Review packets. I couldn't forget those if I tried. This year, I learned how to help others. As seniors, we're expected to hold most of the leadership positions in our clubs and in our sports. I'll be honest, there were many times where I doubted if I was a good mentor to my underclassmen. But then I think about that advice my senior friends gave me freshman year on extra credit, and how I gave that very same advice to my freshman friends this year. I think about my senior tutor in my sophomore year, and how I helped my underclassmen friends with their homework at lunch. I realize it's not about trying to dish out every possible piece of perfect advice or trying to be the perfect role model, because my own underclassmen friends were far from perfect and I never cared about that. We are all already, totally, naturally, perfectly remarkable because we are ourselves, because we don't have to try to be someone else. The last lesson I'd like to mention is my favorite lesson I've learned in high school. And I actually learned this in my introduction to film class, taught by the young at heart Mr. Allen. It's from my favorite movie we watched, a complex cinema classic that has stupefied audiences for generations, Singin' in the Rain. Believe it or not, that message is to just keep singing in the rain. We faced so much stress this year, worrying about these huge events like applying to colleges and jobs, taking exams, and going to prom, that we forget to appreciate a lot of the little things, like singing in the rain. And even during difficult times, such as online school, there were many unique positives, such as being able to roll out of bed and attend class in our pajamas. A lot of us still do that, so maybe not the best example. When we reflect on our entire high school experience, I'm sure we'll remember the big games, big musicals, big dances, any other big event, when really it was the little moments that made up our time here. For me, that includes having a snowball fight in the student parking lot, playing Cards Against Psychology with Mrs. Sammons, watching Mean Girls in Miss Cox's sociology class, and chanting a certain derogatory phrase to freshmen at our pep rallies. I'm not allowed to say it, but I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Thank you. Thank you, Sadie. At the beginning of this year, we were all asked how we wanted to have our graduation. The two options were at the high school, separated into smaller or personal graduations, and this is what has occurred the past 2 years. Or continuing the previous tradition of holding graduation as a whole class here in this arena. Obviously, we can all see which option won, and it won by quite a landslide. I do think that there's a reason for this choice. It is the normalcy that we've all been seeking for the past 2 years. On top of that, it allows everyone, no matter what your niche may be, to share this one last memory together as a class and get recognized for all the success we've had, even through adversity. When I think of this class, the first thing that comes to my mind is resilience. And to go hand in hand with that, perseverance. Resilience is defined as capable of withstanding shock without permanent deformation or rupture. Now, I'm sure I don't have to stand up here and inform everyone of the shock that our class has endured. What I do want to address is the second part of that definition. Without permanent deformation or rupture. Regardless of how productive we may or may not have felt throughout our high school career, we did something right because we are all sitting here today about to receive our diplomas. There was a teacher at my middle school named Miss Stone. She used to do our morning announcements, and every single day she'd end them with the exact same quote. Make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. Until this year, I never truly understood or grasped the message that she was trying to convey. But now, being here with all of you, I understand what she meant.
This year was not great. We made it great. The class council went back in full swing, planning traditional senior events as well as starting new ones, such as the Senior Sunrise Breakfast. We took this school year into our own hands, and along with participating in traditional events such as homecoming and prom, we also hosted our own new events and made our own new amazing memories. One memory that stands out to me was the basketball game that was played by the football players. I remember we all rallied together at lunch to show our support in hopes of getting some good laughs, which we definitely got. There was also some surprises in that game. The MVP was Bryce LaFollette, and after that performance, I think you might be committed for the wrong sport. Many of us may also remember driving to the school during the summer for practice or rehearsals. I'd have some volleyball practices at 8 a.m. and other days at 2 p.m., and you know who was always there? The marching band. When I got to school, they were there, and when I left the school, they were there. I even left school one day, and the fire truck was there spraying them down with a hose. Want to talk about dedication? To piggyback on dedication, our theater department missed a few performances because of online schooling. So what did they do this year? They decided to do 5 shows instead of the normal 2. According to Sarah Dudley, the theater department once had a 36-hour tech weekend leading up to the musical Something Rotten. And trust me, it paid off. Furthermore, what better way to end our senior year than with some friendly water gun fights? A special thank you goes to Taylor Turley for putting together Huntingtown High's first ever senior assassin and instilling a fear of water guns within me. Lastly, a night that many of us will remember for the rest of our lives, the Northern versus Huntingtown football game. Now, give me a minute. Yeah, just want to let that sit in for just a minute. We had a special guest join us that night on the field. The streaker. Legendary. But this game really showed what the Huntingtown High School community was all about, coming together to support each other. As I mentioned earlier, perseverance goes hand in hand with resilience. And I believe that we are all leaving high school much stronger than when we started. The lessons of perseverance and resilience learned during our years in high school will be prevalent throughout our futures. We had a choice to sit and sulk about the situation that we were put in for the large majority of our time in high school, but we chose to do something about it. We chose to make our senior year the absolute best it could be, and I think that we did just that. No matter what path you may choose to take in life, remember, it is your choice. If you are not happy, do something about it. Life is one big game of choices, and those choices define who we are. Class of 2022, it has truly been an honor to serve as your class president. I wish you all success and happiness. Going forward, I will choose to make every day a great day. What will you choose? Now, we come to the moment that we've all been anticipating. Tonight is the culmination of our hopes, dreams, and hard work. We know that receiving our diplomas is the product of our own efforts. However, those efforts are combined with those of our families, our teachers, and our school. We give sincere thanks to everyone who has helped us along the way. The presentation of diplomas will be conducted by Dr. Daniel Curry with assistance from our Board of Education members. Ms. Nicole Catlett and Ms. Nicole Connolly will read the names of the members of our senior class. Seniors, please approach the stage as directed to receive your diplomas.
At this time, I would like for the students on stage to join me at the podium. They will receive their diplomas first. If you'd like to come up. Jenna Brianne Kaplan. Sadie Rose Storm. Okay. So,
Kirsten Nicole Albright.
Tyler James Lacombe.
Caleb Matthew Anderson.
Bryce Scott LaFollette.
Isaiah Future Andrews.
Adam Christopher Lavada.
No. Caroline Grace Banholzer.
Tyler Robert Lawrence.
Logan Quentin Barger.
Dylan Kenneth Lee.
Brooke Haley Bartlett.
McKenna Jacqueline Leach.
Emma June Bean.
Amanda Sharon Lassard.
Dylan Michael Bishop.
Stephen Anthony Lewis.
Brianna Michelle Blake.
Jeremy David Litka.
Kira Janaya Blunt.
Ella Page Lively.
David Michael Bolin Jr.
Kirsten Nicole Lively.
Gabrielle Nicole Bolino.
Jessalee Locke.
Natalie Paige Borowski.
Jack Andrew Leffler.
Alex Dale Bowers.
Jocelyn Grace Luckett.
Caitlin Fiona Brennan.
Emma Marie Gregory.
Drew Landon Brenson.
Samuel Nelson Luckett.
Carly Michelle Britton.
Calvin Fraser Lynch.
Shavana Elisa Brooks.
Abubakar Joshua Magasuba.
Joshua Allen Bryan.
Morgan Elizabeth Malatesta.
McKenna Rose Bryant.
Caleb Anthony Malloy.
Charlie Marie Buckmaster.
Sakai Neil Manley.
Madison Cecilia Buckmaster.
Peace Angelica Manning.
Riker Jordan Bulford.
Alyssa Cecile Marshall.
Michael Dwayne Burke, Jr.
Marco Vicente Mata.
Elliot Franklin Burris.
Jessica Paige Matthews.
Violet Faye Campbell.
Alexandra Nicole Maddox.
Logan Card.
Garrett Ryan Maccabee.
Zane Edward Cawley.
Brianna Nicole McCabe.
Samantha Nicole Chafin.
Haley Marie McCormick.
Emily Yin Chan.
Jenna Peyton Moan.
Colin Douglas Choate.
Haley Elizabeth McCoy.
Stephen Decatur Clark Jr.
Madison Nicole McDaniel.
Dara Lynn Klein.
Chloe Beth McGuire.
Bailey Paige Coley.
Julie Marie McLean.
Brian Joseph Collins Jr.
Ryan Michael McLean.
Morgan Jean Connor.
Molly Christina McMaster.
Chad William Connolly.
Aiden Francis McPhillips.
Ashley Marie Cook.
Nasir Dayan Miller.
Isabella Helene Cordero.
Madeline Marie Montgomery.
Kaylee Janae Costin.
Elizabeth Madeline Mooney.
Henry Robert Cavell.
Lauren Nicole Morlag.
Emma Grace Cox.
Emily Ann Moreland.
Garrett Rafferty Cox.
Ella Jane Morrissey.
Jacob Kevin Crane.
Dimitri Isaiah Mort.
JC Leanne Kramer.
Marissa Virginia Mozzetta.
Elizabeth Somerville Crane.
Ryan Patrick Mozzetta.
Tyler Ethan Croson.
Rihanna Christine Munoz.
Kennedy Carson Cross.
Aiden James Nahas.
Kaylee Rose Cunningham.
Sarah Catherine Nairn.
Jessica Ann Cunningham.
Jaden Brianne Newcomer.
Riley James Curtin.
William Frederick Newsom.
Joseph Payne Curtis.
Kyle Christopher Nielsen.
Haley Michelle Cusick.
Chance Andrew Norvell.
Brielle Addison Dean.
Kyle Aaron Norvell.
Gabriella Marie DeSaris.
Annabelle Marie Norwood.
Carissa Jane DeSantis.
Alyssa Farah Nuthall.
Zoe Alexis Detmer.
Sophia Isabella Olivo.
Ryan Alexander Dixon Burke.
Judith Eva Aller.
Rachel Marie Dorn.
Ariel Nareda Asbaltashi.
McKenna Elise Downs.
Toby Wayne Page.
Sarah Eunice Dudley.
Gabrielle Milaginte Pereira.
Riley Nicole Dunn.
Alex Matthew Parrish.
Layla Alexandra Dunning.
Brooke Madeline Peak.
Caden Nicholas Edelman.
Samuel Lawrence Dimitri Peasley.
Ryan Nicholas Uri.
Dominic Joseph Pellock.
Mackenzie Elizabeth Eversole.
Mackenzie Lee Pena.
Nicholas Paul Farber.
Taylor James Perez.
Aiden Michael Fee.
James Douglas Perna.
Ariana Michelle Ferguson.
Ricky Xavier Perriello.
Jackson Thomas Ferguson.
Haley Noel Persons.
Lyric Angelique Elise Ferguson.
Ariana Nicole Peters.
Darius Deshawn Fletcher.
Clara Margaret Phelps.
Noreen Fenway Fokum.
Nazaya Kenise Phillip.
Jamie Viola Forgione.
Eli Joseph Pivison.
Michelle Paulina Forgione.
Dorian Terrell Plater.
Joseph Michael Fortner.
Matthew Alexander Plater.
Thomas Robert Folks.
Nora Elizabeth Plater.
Aiden Jerry Fowler.
Dalton Christopher Powell.
Gabrielle Sadie Rowena Fox.
Donovan Marcello Powell.
Madison Noel Franklin.
Wyatt James Powell.
Hugo Christopher Frazier Jr.
Carly Ann Proctor.
Olivia Nicole Frick.
Jasmine Linnell Quander.
Joshua Clark Fritz.
Guy Tarleton Rayleigh IV.
Molly Brooke Gardner.
Amelia Erin Roanhouse.
Jace Calloway Gass.
Jordan Mitchell Richards.
Destiny Marie Gates.
Ellie Christina Richardson.
Devin Michael Jamoya.
Caden Thomas Richardson.
Darcia Grace Gleason.
Seth Dalton Robinson.
Kamaya Alicia Granger.
Cameron James Rochon.
Stara Dominica Grajales Murphy.
Braden Aaron Rodriguez.
Tori Skylar Gray.
Jacob Daniel Rollins.
Isaiah William Green.
John Patrick Ronan Jr.
Jack Mitchell Green.
Javonda Diamond Rowe.
Deja McKenya Greenfield.
Benton Luke Sager.
Coy James Greenwell.
Nicholas Aaron Saunders.
Lincoln Gregory Griner.
Grace Laureen Sawyer.
Marissa Cheyenne Grierson.
Hannah Teresa Schemer.
Gabrielle Madison Grimm.
Gabrielle Reagan Schmidt.
Arturo James Grimes.
Daniel Thomas Schneider.
Dustin Quinn Grogan.
Andrew Albert Shug.
Cameron Teddy Larry Gross.
Christina Louise Hyungmi Scott.
Eugene Grove V.
Alyssa Noel Seeley.
Macallie Joseph DeLacy.
Avery Eugene Shannon.
Tyler Sean Hager.
Samantha Jane Sheriff.
Elena Kathleen Hall.
Ashton Lyle Joseph Siegel.
Catherine Rose Hanovich.
Jeremy Michael Simpson.
Paul Henry Harrison.
Aaron Jonah Smith.
Ian Thomas Hayes.
Isabella Jordan Smith.
Kendall Ray Heath.
Kaylee Kathleen Smith.
Jasmine Sinai Heatley.
Morgan Jean Snyder.
Danielle Kathleen Heckart.
Katie Allison Souza.
Juliana Elise Hendricks.
Taylor Elaine Stolniker.
Catherine Francis Hepp.
Brandon Christopher Stein.
Sean Michael Heppy.
Kenneth Rivers Stewart.
Albert Nathaniel Herb.
Taylor Renee Stevenson.
Summer Isabella Herbertson.
Jonathan Ryan Stoneburner.
Christopher Andrew Hindle.
Jaden Samuel Summers.
Cameron Lee Hodges.
Lillian Marie Swan.
Connor David Hoffman.
Adam Leonard Satanik.
Jaden Orlando Holland.
Rolich Laban Gromedes Topunga.
Megan Nicole Hollinshead.
Carrington Enrique Taylor.
Cameron Perry Holmes.
Josiah Page Taylor.
Emily Grace Holzberger.
Paul Douglas Testerman.
Travis Brian Hook.
Juliana Renee Thomas.
Jewel Leona Horseman.
Peyton Reed Thompson.
Joshua Ryan Hotchkiss.
Devontae Rayfield Threet.
Shania Alaya Hudson.
Graham Arthur Tillett.
Devin Connor Hughes.
Ainsley May Tobler.
Shelby Gail Hunt.
Kia Monet Tony.
Ryan David Hurst.
Heidi Helga Torrey.
Cameron Alyssa Heisen.
Taylor Nicole Turley.
Jennifer Giselle Izaguirre Martinez.
Eric Wayne Humphreys Jr.
Casey Daniel Jackman.
Laura Margaret Vance.
Kaylin Alice Jackson.
Alyssa Joy Vasco.
Savannah Ray Jackson.
Christopher Michael Wade.
Zane Raymond Jaco.
Aiden Jonathan Walker.
Emma Caroline Johnson.
Richard Bailey Walker.
Kyle Andre Jones.
Madeline Rose Walter.
Latrell John Jones.
Colin James Walton.
Cecilia Marie Kuchurek.
Aiden Hunter Ward.
Zoe Alyssa Camiza.
Kenneth Edward Ward.
Holden Richard Kennedy.
Michael Randolph Warner.
Coral Elizabeth Kent.
Alyssa Watson.
William Floyd King III.
Bria Watson.
Griffin James Kincaid.
Olivia Nicole Weaver.
Nicholas George Kirschbaum.
Allison Mackenzie Weaver.
Kyle James Kitchen.
Gavin Alexander Weaver.
Michael John Klebas.
David Andrew McCulley Weeks.
Emma Leanne Kotef.
Austin William Welch.
Micah Scott Krennick.
Hannah Marie White.
Jennifer Grace Kreppel.
Allie Marie Wick.
Aiden Michael Hopp.
Victoria Grace Weir. Conlon James Wilcher. Trenton Talmadge Wilkes. Devin Lewis Williams. Joseph Kelly Williams. Boston Patrick Willoughby. Jonathan Champ Wilson. Jordan Thomas Wilson. Michael Jailer Wilson. Lucas Brom Woodburn. Brian William Yates. Stephen Michael Yestramsky. Taylor Ashley York. Jesse Thomas Ziegler. Leora Gail Ziegler. Hannah Elizabeth Miller.
Congratulations, class of 2022.
It is my pleasure to certify that all members of the graduating class of 2022 standing before me have met all requirements for Maryland High School Diploma. You may now turn your tassels. Thank you, family, friends, and special guests for coming and making this a memorable and special occasion tonight. Please stand and remain in your seating area while the class of 2022 leaves the arena.